Hey everybody, it's Christine Bertram. I'm coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. I sat down, whoa, there's a cat. I sat down and I realized that I hadn't printed the clues. So you're gonna hear my printer running here in the background as the clues come out. And I've got one, and hopefully I have paper in there. So yeah, you guys, you can be as prepared as you possibly think you can be, and then all of a sudden, you're not. But here we are. So hello to everybody that's already joining. Madge is here, yay. Hi, Debbie Gast. There's Lisa from Hollywood, Maryland, yay. Hi, Deanne Dawn and Randy Schultz. Hi, Yaz and Jamie. There's Anna Schaefer. Hi, Sarah Mitchell. Hi, Susan Murphy. You guys, this is very entertaining. I'm just wondering how I can make you guys see this, watch this. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna take this out, and you can look at that. Honey is just staring and watching the printer. She's very mesmerized by what's happening up there. They can hear this from the other side of the house, and they come barreling in. Like Hunky was just here too. But anyways, there you guys can see see what's going on. All right, let me get this back down here without disrupting the camera. Okay, I just thought that you guys could get a little kitten fix there. Hunky was just, they were both literally right there. And then all of a sudden, Hunky got scared. So, all right, hi, Lynn Beasley. Hi, Marie Stewart. And there's Darla Arnold. Yay. Hi, Marcia Coolibert. There she is going again, you guys. There's her little royal birthmark. Hi, Barbara Rudolph. Hi, Connie Moore. Hello again. You guys, we did have class this afternoon. We had the Let's Just Stamp class. So some of you guys are seeing me again. Yay. Hi, Tony Shaw. Wondering if you were on or not, as things said April 15th, and then I just saw April 25th. So just confused, but you're here now, so that's all that matters. So yes, Mystery Card Night is right now. Today is April 15th. Your public courtesy announcement. Do you have your taxes done? They are due today. Make sure you get them in. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Beverly Carlin. Hi, Sherry Martin and Jean Terwilliger. Hi, Mary Sykes and Mary Lemke back to back. Hi, Anita. Hi, Dolores. Hi, Bonnie. Thanks for sharing, Sherry. There's Susan Bellamy. Hi, Jamie Shipman. There's Julie Hilsman. Julie, I don't know if you caught it this afternoon, but you won a card from one of my classes back in last fall. Yay. Hi, Susan Rich. Hi, Paula Rice. Hi, Cheryl and Linda. Oh my gosh, you guys are all rolling in right away. Hi, Janice Jeffers from Brisbane, Australia. How are things down under? Hi, Jenna. She is very curious. Oh, did you get your taxes done? I sure did. Oh my goodness, you guys. I actually got onto an old one from April, and you were still doing your taxes. Ha ha ha. Yes. Hi, Catherine Healy. Hi, Mary Schreiber. Hi, Karen Wetstein. The taxes are done. So when we had class on Thursday, I had said to everybody that I needed to get them done between now and Monday. And so on Thursday night, I worked on them all night. It didn't take me like long, maybe 4 hours. I sat at TurboTax, like on my computer, entering in information. And I always pull last year's TurboTax up, and then I have this year's, and so I can kind of mirror the topics and whatever different things that we need to put expenses in and income and all that good stuff. Excuse me. And the good thing is that I got everything input in Thursday night, or into Friday morning, I should say. And then on Friday, I called up my mom, and I said, hey, Mom, what are you and Dad doing tonight? And she said, well, nothing. Why? I said, well, do you want to come over and we treat you to dinner, or do you want us to come over? And my end game was to sit with my dad. He is my accountant. He's not an accountant per se, but back in his younger year, he went to 4 years of he went to school for accounting, and now that is why he's a successful farmer, I must say, is because he has the accounting background. And so my dad sits with me every year to go over taxes. I'm very blessed that he is able to help me provide guidance. Hi, Megan. You guys, can you see how sunny it is? Let me just show you how sunny this is outside. Let me flip that over. So you guys, I have the windows right here, right? And so we've got the sun shining right in on us. And that is why I've got, it's so bright. It was so beautiful and sunshiny all day long. Hi, Megan. Galbraith. Yay! Happy that you're here as well. So I'm very blessed that my dad is able to help me sit down and go over everything to make sure I'm making sure I account for everything. And I think I just needed to get a tax form in there, which I did this morning. And then at 12:45, I hit the send button right before we went live for Let's Just Stamp. So I could go into Let's Just Stamp and feel a little breath of relief. What are you doing? You guys can see her there? She is distracting me. She's looking for something on the wall. So, all right. So I just printed off all the clues. Yay. I have all my pieces ready to go. Yay. Thanks for sharing. I really appreciate it, Bonnie. Thanks for the thumbs up. I didn't even do the thumbs up yet. So let me do that. I've got mine done. There must be a bug on the wall because they are going over something. They are going crazy. So let me just shut that to save the juice. So I have a little apology about the clue number 1 with coordinating cardstock 1. I apologize. I was working on this Thursday night after class and I totally got distracted. And so I sent an email out on Saturday. Judy Sharp found that there was an error. Yes, totally was writing cardstock clue number 1 or coordinating cardstock clue number 1. And I had 5.5 by 8.5, but then everything after that, I got sidetracked. I think Tyler, I'm going to blame it on either the cats or Tyler or myself. I can take responsibility. It's okay. Hi, Jean Maxwell. But somehow I got distracted and everything after there was wrong. So the scoring and the folding was incorrect. And then the little piece afterward was incorrect. But if you guys saw, I sent an updated email on Saturday. So if you don't get emails from me, you might not have seen this. And it's always a good idea to make sure you're signed up to get emails from me. Going to cardsbychrisb.com. Just on a side note, if you're not signed up to get emails from me, all you have to do is go to my website. Underneath the picture of me in the yellow shirt, there's a spot for you to sign up to get emails from me. And that's where you can go to subscribe, and then you'll have to confirm your subscription, and then you'll get emails from me. And that is exactly where I emailed on Saturday to my distribution group, the Houston, we found a problem. And so I could tell everybody, hi, Polly Libby. I did go out and update my website, the event on my website, and the event on Facebook. So hopefully that all came through to everybody for the most part, and you didn't have your paper cut incorrectly. If you cut your paper incorrectly because of me, I challenge you to make something pretty with it. Still utilize it. Do not throw it away. Find a purpose. You know what I'm going to do? I will just shut this so you guys don't all get up in this. Hang on. I'll shut that a little bit. So there you go. All right. Judy Sharp is joining late. But you're here and we haven't started yet. So we're here for Mystery Card Night. Yay. I've got my magnifying glass ready for you guys. I believe that I have my pieces all cut. I really had a plan for this card. So if you saw Share, Create, Inspire last week, you might have seen that Debbie Lindauer sent this recipe card to make this card. And then I made my card using Perennial Lavender. And the layout was really cool. It got to feature 3 designer series papers or coordinating pattern paper, whichever you look at it. And I was looking, you guys loved how easy that was. I think you did. A lot of you said, wow, it was really a good layout. Hi, Bobby. Hi, Melody. Hi, Jenny. And hi, Donna. And everybody liked that it was a little bit simpler, but very pretty for a layout. And I needed the easy button for Mystery Card Night. And I was going through my stack of Happy Mail, putting it out there, being completely transparent. I was going through my Happy Mail and I saw this layout. I'm like, oh, this is a really nice layout. And I did all the clues as correctly as I thought they were, submitted it, published it, made it available for you guys to see. And the next day I looked at it and I thought to myself, that card looks really close to the Share, Create, Inspire card. And I thought to myself, you've already done all the work. What would Mom say? Mom would say, just move forward and keep going. Don't redo it. And so I listened to the words in my head that were coming from my mom, even though she didn't even know it. Hi, Linda Kester. Thanks for sharing. Hi, Becky Rohr. And I listened to Mom and I said, okay, well, you guys will, okay, you're not going to like it or you're going to be like, yep, it's good. And I'm like, oh, hopefully they'll like it and they'll just go forward with me on this path and on this journey with this card. And then I thought to myself, I am so excited to use the stamp set that the person on this card used because I hadn't used it yet. And I just went to look for it right now and I don't even own it. And now I'm toying in my head, is this set carrying over or is this set not carrying over? And if it's not carrying over, do I buy it because I really thought I owned it because I liked it that much? Or do I not buy it? So anyways, I'll show you the card that I cased for the layout after we're done with class. And now I'm going to show you what stamp set she used, and I'm curious if you guys own it. And so then I'm going to have to show you what stamp set I picked out in place of it, in lieu of it. And we are going to make a card together. I have my pieces all cut, and I'm actually using a designer series paper, which is not, I'll make you guys guess where it comes from, I think is what I'm going to do. So, all that, you guys, it's always a lot going on. I'm happy that all of you are here with me. We are going to get going to clue number 1. A few housekeeping things just before we get going. And most of you know this, but I did have some new names that I've never seen before that popped up and said hi. And so I want to welcome everybody to Mystery Card Night. I hope you have fun. This class is meant for you to enjoy it, not cause you any stress. It's your time away from whatever is happening in the world or in your life. I hope that you can spend the next hour with me or half hour, however long you can spend with me, like forgetting about things and getting in tune with making a card. And the goal is for you, what my personal goal for you with this card is to use stuff you haven't used before. Meaning, I provide the measurements and we'll walk through how to make a card. What I want you guys to use are things that you have in your house or craft room or wherever you are that you haven't really used before, that it's like a challenge. We all buy things, but we don't always get time to use them. And so find that coordinating pattern paper or designer paper, however you call it, or make your own if you don't have any. You can always make background paper by stamping it, like stamping stamps on background, like on a piece of paper, and then making your own background. I want you to use designer paper, pattern paper you haven't used before. Then you pull in coordinating cardstock, and then potentially pull in a stamp set that you maybe haven't used either. Now, that's my goal. Now, that might not be your goal. You might have something very specific in your head that I need a card for so-and-so for their birthday or for their retirement, for their thinking of you, a get well because of something, or you need a sympathy card. My goal for you is to just be happy, have fun, use your own products, don't buy anything special for this class, and come out of it with a beautiful card that you're happy with, right? And then hopefully you share that card with us in this group later. I have a Facebook event on my Cards by Christine Facebook page, and there's an event out there. I've created a post, or it will publish at 6:30 probably, or 6:45, and you can share your card. And anybody who shares their card in that post, specific post, because that's where we pull the names from, we'll get their name in for a drawing, and we'll do that drawing in the future. I have been doing it when I do all my beginning of the month drawing stuff, and so that's kind of where we've pulled it in. So you can use anything you want. Generally, people ask me, well, do I have to use a certain type of product? No. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I generally only use Stampin' Up! Products, but that doesn't mean you have to. This is for you to use stuff that you have at home that you've been antsy to use or excited to use or forgot about having, and you found it because you cleaned up your craft room. You know, make a card and be happy with it and just have fun with the process. I will be reading through clues with you. We're going to go over clue 1 here momentarily, and then from there, we're going to kind of work our way through this card. I hope that it's not too easy for you, and if it is too easy for you, I hope you still enjoy it. And sometimes it's nice to have an easy layout without all the complicated bells and whistles, and so I hope it's not too easy, and if it is too easy, that you still enjoy it. Like, that's where I'm trying to get at with this one. So I've been doing some fun folds in the past, and that's sometimes harder. So sometimes it's nice to have the easy button. All right. Anything else? If anybody has questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I have a lot of people that have been doing Mystery Card Night, and they're on here watching, and they would also be able to help in and answer in case I missed the question as I'm working on something. Hi, Anna Carter. Definitely ask a question if you have it. And I don't know. I think that's about it. Just be careful. There's sometimes spammers show up in here. They haven't lately, but if anything kind of comes through gibberish or weird, like, don't click on anything. Sometimes spammers come in and try to get you to click on stuff, and we just don't do it. We try to delete those comments right away. All right, are you guys ready? The main thing is that as we walk through the clues, I'm gonna ask you how you're doing and where you're at. And I look for your guidance as to where you are with the card. So if I am talking through clue 1, and clue 1's usually easy, but when we're done with clue 2, I try to talk and give you guys some time to do clue 2. Give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, tell me, hey, I'm done with clue 2. So I know that when about 5 to 10 people give me the clue, that usually that's time to move on. Know that if you aren't able to keep up, you can always keep listening and watching and keep working on your card and always finish it later. After the video, the end button goes, you guys can always go back and watch the replay as well, and that is out there. And then either tonight or tomorrow morning, there'll be an email sent out thanking everybody and including the YouTube link, and it also includes a link to the Facebook event where you can share your card. So yay! With that, are you guys ready? Are you ready to go to clue number 1 or move on to clue number 1? I hope so. Well, it's going to be good, you guys. All right, so what am I doing? I'm flipping down here. Oh, man. All right, I didn't even print it in color. I printed it in black and white. So normally it's in a pretty color, but not right now. So we have here some different things. If you are newer to this one, thanks for the thumbs up, Anna Carter. If you're newer to me and watching for the first time, I try to do some coding with T equals tall. So when you see pattern paper, you know it's 4 inches tall. Wide is for W, so 3 by 4. And then white is sometimes referred to as W here. V is for vanilla. I will zoom in so you guys can see this a little bit better as well. And then throughout this document, I will sometimes label like CC2 is coordinating cardstock 2, and CPP, coordinating pattern paper. So what do we need? Hopefully I have it all on here. So let's look at, and I went for a brighter, cheerful card. Look at my color palette for today, you guys. Woo! All right. For white and vanilla, we need 3 pieces. Hi, Charlie Rupp. Yes, you caught me live. Yay. All right. Oh, dear is calling. I will have to call you back, dear. All right. We have 3 pieces. A 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And at this moment, orientation does not matter. So 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, that's 1 piece. Then we need to have a piece that is a 5 by 3 3/4. So 5 by 3 3/4. And then another piece that is 5/8 by 2 1/2-ish. This one is a sentiment strip. So you might end up wanting it a little bit taller, a little bit shorter, a little bit wider. I grabbed a scrap, and actually when I cut my scrap, I cut it at 3/4 of an inch, which might be a little bit big. I can always cut it down to 5/8. Just know that this last little measurement here is for a sentiment strip, and we've got wiggle room with it. So those are the 3 pieces of white or vanilla. Now, why I say white or vanilla is because if your pattern paper or cardstock is more of a cool undertone, you like to, I would say, use white. If it's more of a neutral color, then the vanilla, it looks a lot softer and warmer with it. All right, so coordinating cardstock 1 is 2 pieces. And I just realized I cut mine wrong. I cut mine wrong. Like, oh, I don't have 2 pieces. But the first one here is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Score and fold at 4 1/4 on the 8 1/2 inch side. So I've got my 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. I have it scored here, and I already folded it once in half. But what you want to do is have that ready. So I'm going to take my bone folder and burnish it already so that we've got our traditional A2 size card ready to go. So that is a coordinating cardstock 1. So I accidentally, without thinking, cut my other measurement here as coordinating cardstock 2. But that's okay. Instead of cutting another piece of paper, I'm going to see what this looks like, because maybe this color will be fine. But if not, I'll flip it out and make it my lemon lolly. That's lemon lolly. This is Calypso Coral, and this one measures out 2 1/2 by 1 7/8. And I'm pretty sure that I have that. Yeah, 1 7/8 by 2 1/2. All right, so just a reminder, mine is the wrong color based on I couldn't even follow my own instructions for cutting my cardstock. And I think that is because I was looking at what my pattern paper looked like, and I think in my head the coral might look better. So this is where we've got a little wiggle room. Okay, for coordinating cardstock 2, there are 2 pieces and they're the same size, 5 1/4 by 4. They're a traditional mat that goes right onto an A2 size card. And you will see that I've already added texture to one of mine because I wanted it done before we started the class and not after. So just know there are 2 pieces. They are the same. If you've guessed, maybe you've guessed one is for the outside and one is for the inside. But I did opt for Calypso Coral, because my pattern paper looks like this. Now this is where I want anybody to guess what this is. I know that you would know instantly what this pack of paper is if I showed you the other side, but I'm curious if anybody in my stamping community could guess what pack of designer series or pattern paper this is. I've been talking about it recently, and so this is my coordinating pattern paper. It's 1 piece and it's 3 by 4. Now 3 wide by 4 tall. If you look at mine really doesn't have an orientation. It could go this way or this way or this way, but know that if you do have a pattern to your paper where you need it to go a certain way, it is going to lay like this. So 3 inches wide by 4 inches tall. Oh man, Julie Hilsman and Tony Shaw, right off the bat, you guys get, I was going to do a gold star, but you get a heart. Yay, good job. All right, you want to know why? Look that's our coffee beans on the other side. Whoop, whoop. Good job, girlfriends. All right, so they were right. It is the coffee set, the latte. Karen Karste got it. Linda Kester got it. Good job, good job. We had been designing with the coffee paper. So if you guys recall, the Magnolia set used 3 patterns, and then the April monthly class used a pattern. So that's 4 patterns. And then this was a pattern. I had tons left. I'm like, oh, let's try to use it. All right, so that's what I've got for pieces of paper. Now, you could also bring in scraps of paper in your white or vanilla, your coordinating cardstock, or pattern paper. I'll talk through, oh, Randy got it as well. What Debbie guessed that I cut 2 hexagons out of one of your mats. Good job. Awesome. Ooh, I like that idea. So what Debbie said is she cut some hexagons out of one of the mat because it will get potentially covered up. So we also would like to have some coordinating inks. I did grab Calypso Coral. You could grab some ribbon. I grabbed some of this herringbone white, and I grabbed some embellishments. These are new. These are the adhesive back pearl trios that are out of the new annual catalog. And I looked at these and I thought, ooh, those are pretty and kind of corally. So I grabbed those. And the set that I thought that I owned, but I don't apparently own, looks like this. Sad face, big time sad face. I love the concept of what they do here and here with stamping it and then popping up a section and using the modern oval punch to punch it out. So this is the set that I thought that I owned, but I don't own it. Sad face, I'm crying a little bit on the inside right now. So I pulled Circle Sayings and I thought to myself, why can't I make this work? And there's no reason why I can't make this work. And then again, I need to go back and decide for myself, what am I going to do with Filled with Happiness? Because I bet you any money that's probably on the last chance list. All right, so I opted for Circle Sayings. So when I'm done with class, I will show you guys the card that I cased from Kathy Ballard, actually. So, and Kathy, I don't know if she's watching, but I cased her card for the mystery card night, you guys. We got to think smarter, not harder, as much as we can, right? All right. Oh, Susan Bellamy owns it. Susan, if you were my next door neighbor, I would be like phoning a friend. I mean, Susan, can I borrow your stamp set? So Susan, you might entertain the idea of using this stamp set and seeing if you can make a card that utilizes the Filled with Happiness stamp set. I just could have sworn I owned that set. I'm still like trying to wrap my head around why it's not in my stamp sets over there. I honestly don't. So I might have given it as a prize in the past too, and thinking that I bought it, and then I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't have it. So, all right. Are you guys ready to move on to clue number 2? Are you? I think you should be. Hopefully you have all your paper ready, and you're going to see how exciting and fun this card is. Not a fun fold, but it's fun. All right. Flipping down here. So, first things first. You already saw that I added some texture to one of these mats. So, I wrote on here, emboss or add texture to one of the 5 1/4 by 4 coordinating cardstock 2 mats and adhere it to the card front. So, what does that mean? This is called, we call this dry embossing. So there's heat embossing and there's dry embossing, or there's just embossing. I think if we use the word embossing, it kind of generally means just dry embossing with an embossing folder. You might not have embossing folders at home, and what you could do then is stamp a pattern on it and create some background texture. So in the set that I'm looking at here, I could stamp some of these flowers around it. I could stamp some of these stripes. I'm going for a birthday card, so I have happy birthday here, and I'm going to put this celebrate, celebrate, go on and celebrate, and the cupcake on the inside. And that would be an option if you decorate the edges. And I'll just read through all of clue 2 so you can kind of see what's going on and get a feel for what this card might look like if you haven't guessed that yet. Mary Sykes owns it. Oh, Mary, I wish that you were my next door neighbor too. You guys would have been over in a heartbeat. So the first clue is going to be, well, actually the second clue, to figure out what you want to do with this background mat. And that is going to get adhered here to your card front. And then what you're going to do is take your pattern paper and you're going to adhere it to, so there's 3 pieces of white left. So I wrote on here, you're going to adhere it to the smaller mat. So grab the smaller one, and that's going to get adhered to here. And then lastly, if you want to use ribbon, you would want to make sure if you're going to put it behind here, we need to put that behind here before we put this onto our card front. So I'm just going to lay this here so you can see ultimately the layout that I've got going on. And see, that's why I ended up with coral here versus lemon lolly. I'm going to just pull the lemon lolly just to see what it looks like, because I didn't even entertain the idea of using lemon lolly. But if I use lemon lolly here, I thought in my head it got washed out a little bit. So I am going back to use the coral, and you might consider the same thing. But the reason I'm setting this all out here and kind of giving away everything is I want you to think about, if you like to use ribbon on a card, adding ribbon to your card, you'd want to do it now. And so I chose here this white, and you can kind of see through the pattern, and you could either double these up and layer them twice, and I think I might do that. So I'm going to cut a couple pieces here and show you kind of what I was thinking with ribbon. I'm going to put my ribbon on here like that so that it's double layered. It's a little bit more crisp white looking, where if you have this by itself, you can see the pattern through it. The way that you could get around that is by putting what I call a sacrificial lamb of white paper underneath it, meaning if you grab a white piece of paper and put that underneath here, that would also help it look really crisp, and that looks kind of cool too. So, all right, let's go back to the beginning though. So now you can kind of see what's going on. Hopefully that gave you time to figure out what you've got here. Maybe lemon lolly instead of the white mat. Oh, okay, hang on. I like that idea. I'm good with like suggestions here. So let's grab this piece back here and put that here. And then if we put this here, and this is the suggestion, was to use a lemon lolly. And I do like lemon lolly as a mat, but I don't know how I like it with, I almost personally prefer the white. Makes it look really crisp to me. And I think I'm okay with the white. I'm looking at it in the camera actually with you guys. I feel like this is too much lemon lolly going on. let's see here, hang on. Let's put this here, and then let's put this here. You guys, I'm changing up my mind here. You guys, and this is what happens, you guys. Squirrel, and that's okay. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying this is exactly what happens to you when you're at home, too. You probably start picking and choosing different things to try, and then all of a sudden, that's how it takes 10 hours to make one card, right? All right, I'm going to go back because my paper's already cut. I think I'm going to go back to where I was. It was a good little trying on the drawing board there. We did try it. I think that by adding in the white back here and having the white here and then having a white label, it'll tie all the white together. And I think I'll be okay with it. So let's go back here. I have this embossed. Hopefully that gave you guys some time to figure out what you were doing with your background piece. So I've got mine embossed with the Painted Textures embossing folder. And I will adhere that onto my card base. Oh, you guys are saying white, 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 agree. Perfect. Hi, Maria Gilbertson. All right, so, but it was a really good suggestion, you guys. That is exactly my whole thought process, is laying things out and seeing how they look, and then you can really see. So that gets put down. Then the next step is to adhere your pattern paper. Ah, there are the coffee beans. Sorry, coffee beans, you get to go bye-bye right now. Not that I don't like coffee. I have a love-hate relationship. I need coffee, but I don't love it. So I hate that I'm addicted to coffee. All right. But I know how to become unaddicted to coffee. I just have to go through the process if I want to. So there's that. And now we're going to secure the ends of the ribbon behind this layer. Now, if you're not a ribbon fan, skip it. Don't put the ribbon on. The other option is figuring out a different way to do ribbon. Maybe you want to put ribbon towards the top more versus this layer, and that's quite all right as well. I'm just putting it out here that I know I'm going to put ribbon, and I'm going to put a couple of these guys waiting in the wings over here for me. Yep, I'm getting loaded up on my tear-in tape here. And we're going to put one down on each side here and secure the tails of the white ribbon. So one is going to be a little bit north of the equator, like that. The equator is the middle, you guys. In case you didn't know, I think that we know the equator, hopefully. That's my terminology. And then I'm putting the tear-in tape back down over the top of that. And now this one's going to be south of the equator slightly. And now maybe I did too much, but I want that to be centered. And I think I did too much. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. So here's the deal. If you went up too high, just depending on what you did, you can peel this back off. It's all right. We're card makers. We can change things how we want to. All I did was peel it up, and I'm going to go down a hair. I'm still over the center line a little bit, but now my white is going to be a little bit closer together, which is what I was looking for. All right, so then this is going to go right about here. And again, you don't have to use ribbon here if you don't want to. And then I'm going to pickle this, or secure it, with more tear-in tape. And I'm not going to pick that off. I'm going to leave that be and grab my dimensionals and pop this up. And actually, one moment, please. Let me see what the next clue is. I might be working ahead and not even... Okay, so secure the ends of the ribbon behind this so it goes through the middle of the layer. And then... one moment, please. Adhere this layer to the card front. All right. I think I missed writing that, but we'll do it right now. So grab some dimensionals, or if you're not a fan of the popping up, you could always adhere it flat to your card base. We're going to just put a couple. So this, I'm going to put one more right there. We don't want any saggy middles. All right, so I love to pop up a couple layers here and there. So we've got our ribbon secured, and now we're going to adhere this to the card front. So this is how you guys can see. It's kind of like Debbie Lindauer's recipe from last week, but a little less layers. All right, that's what I have. That was a lot in clue 1. There were actually like 4 parts to clue 2. I meant clue 2. So there's what we have so far, right? We've got our base, We've got an embossed mat, or I'll be honest, if you left it not embossed or plain, it would still look pretty, just having that color popping behind there. Whew, okay. So don't forget, we got to adhere that layer. So when it comes to my PDF that I'm creating and putting out in the VIP group or the Inspiration Hive, I will make sure to add that little note so that you guys don't miss that at all. So how are you doing? Are you getting your mats done? Are you getting your layers down? So as you guys start to finish clue 2, I need you just to say, hey, I'm all good. Let me know that you're done. Hi, Laurel Wood. Just give me a post or a shout out to let me know that you're done with clue number 2. Could you hear I was ripping mine apart? Because I was not trying to be picky, but I needed to recenter it a little bit better. I had it down too low, I think. But now I think I'm good to go. All right. So make sure you get your mat put on. Make sure your coordinating pattern paper gets glued to your white or vanilla paper, and then use ribbon if you want to, and then secure that layer to the front of your card. Don't worry, no saggy middle for me. It's always popped up. Good, Mary Sykes. Happy to hear that. Yeah, we don't like any saggy middles, right? So I'll tell you, when I first started card making, I would only put a dimensional here, 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 and here. And then that whole middle section had nothing. And that's what we're talking about, saggy middles. So I put one here, 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 here. It helps to keep this whole thing like kind of flush. Judy Sharp is ready. Debbie Gass is good. Tony's ready. Awesome. So that means that I think it's safe to say we can go to clue number 3. Yay, I saw another thumbs up. All right. Let's talk through clue number 3 so that we make sure that we're good to go. All right. So I have on here, stamp on the coordinating cardstock 2 mat if it is lighter if desired, or add texture, meaning this little guy. This was our other mat. And if it's dark, like it's super dark and it doesn't make sense to stamp on it, don't stamp on it. And what I was trying to say, if it's lighter and if you want it, stamp on here. Okay, so then we'll keep going, and I'll do mine. I know what I'm going to stamp, but I'm going to talk through this a little bit. Then this gets adhered to the card front. And then the next step is to stamp a sentiment on the strip of either white or vanilla and banner or flag your ends. And ultimately, this is going to go through the middle here like this. So if you are feeling this is too blank right here, that's where you could add some stamped image there. If you want to emboss it, you could also emboss this piece. That would be really pretty, a really pretty pattern on here. Then you wouldn't have to worry about stamping it. But you can see where my mind was going, that I really wanted this right here. You're wonderful. I appreciate you. I was going to stamp that on here, and then I was going to stamp just a note on here. Then it was going to go right onto here. This set is exactly what I was picturing for this card. So how am I going to improvise with this? And what I'm going to do, I had brought out the circle sayings, and I decided I'm going to use these flowers. And the other option, let me just move this off to the side for now. The other option I could do is sending you a, but the words work on here, but the banner kind of gets cut off. So I think I'm going to skip that plan. That was like a squirrel again. I'm going to go with these flowers, and I'm going to stamp a set here, and I'm going to stamp a set here. And we're going to see what that looks like. So grab the ink that you want to use. I'm going to grab a little scratch paper. Very nice. I have not used this stamp in my life, so it's nice to use a stamp that's never been used. It feels kind of satisfying. I'm going to practice on here. And I chose tone on tone. Oh, that stamp's very nice. I chose to do coral on the coral, just to give it a background image like that. And then I'm going to flip it over and do another one. You guys, as I'm doing this, I'm talking myself into buying that set. Does that happen to you too? Hi, buddy. Yeah, squeaker. For those of you who love my bigger Tigger, there's bigger Tigger. He's hanging out back there. Now you guys, he was napping during our afternoon class. He was sleeping on the chair. So this is what I ended up with. And I'm going to put that right here. It just gave it a little bit of color or texture. And then, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? He's coming this way. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Thanks for walking over everything and letting us all know that you're present in our lives. No, seriously, you guys. He jumped up here to walk that way, walked all the way around just to walk across me to go back over to the window over there. He just wanted you all to know that he sends his best regards and his love. So we're going to do the happy birthday here. And I did make my strip 3/4 inch, which was a little bit more than what the Clue 1 had 5/8, but I'm okay with the 3/4. And then, as long as I have the ink pad open, I'm going to just sneak a little stamp in. Nope, you know what? We're not going to jump ahead. We're gonna stay with our clue. We're gonna just stick with the clue. All right. So stamp on your little baby mat to add texture. You could also emboss it. And then what we're gonna do is adhere this to our card front. And I'm debating if I'm gonna go flat with it. I think I'm gonna go flat with it. And for good measure, we're going to use tear and tape, which is back here. I've got the ribbon through the middle here. So what I want to do is put tear and tape definitely across the top and the bottom. And then I think I'll go just like that. And then adhere this layer to the card front. So we're going to adhere this. I'm going to go like that and put that right to our card front. Like that. Ooh. You guys, if you're picky like me, you like things to be centered nicely. Like that. And straight. And then it was stamp a sentiment, which I did, on the strip of white or vanilla, and banner it or flag it. And I'm trying to debate in my mind what I want to do. If bannering it means something like this. If you're a bannerer, you could put a little slice right down the middle, and then you go one side to the other side, and that's how you could banner. And I think that bannering will look very nice. So I'm going to start my banner back here, though, and here. And I think that's even too long. I'm going to back it off just a hair and start with my banner, I think like that. So it's slightly past my coral, and then I will go right to the middle here. So by putting that slice right down the middle, it gives you something to aim for, where otherwise you're just guessing. And so we're going to go one here, and one there, and one there. So there's me bannering my ends. Now, did you just see what happened? When I bannered my ends, it made it so that you see the coral coming out. Now the question is, do you like that or do you not like that? And if you don't like that, you can start over, which is perfectly fine. We're crafters, we're stampers, we can change our mind. So we're starting over, and we're going to grab the coral ink one more time and stamp that happy birthday one more time right in the middle here. And I did like the banner, but knowing now that when I banner it, it's gonna come back, I might just leave it like that. Or angling. Here, let's try this. Oh, I don't know if that, so angling, in case you guys are wondering, you could angle your ends like that. But I don't like that either. So what we're gonna do, my idea is to leave it long, and I'm gonna put my 2 gems right there on the ends. So the next one is stamp a sentiment on a strip and then adhere it to the card front. So what I'm gonna do for this one then is adhere this, and I'm gonna use a few dimensionals on the back side, like that. And then I'm gonna center that with my ribbon. All right, so far so good. Lots of straight lines, right? So we were talking about that on Let's Just Stamp, that we put a tag on the card and it was hard to put it on crooked. And that's because I like things to go this way. Some people like things to go angled, which is perfectly fine. All right, how are you guys doing? You don't want to cover up my DSP, so I stamped on the DSP instead. Oh, that's awesome. That works too. I can't tell you how many stamp sets I have bought because you twisted my arm. Oh, Charlie. Oh, I hope your arm isn't hurting too bad. Oh, I don't want any arm pain, right? Don't. Okay, so I see that Paula Rice is done with number 3. That's good. Is anybody else done with number 3? I told you guys this was going to be a nice one. Nice, easy layout. So I'm just throwing away my scraps here as I wait for at least one or two more people to come in and let me know that they're done with 3. That'll happen, that you never thought I needed that stamp set, and then you see somebody use it and you're like, oh, I need that stamp set now. And I am one that if there's one stamp in a stamp set that I absolutely want to have or want that specific stamp, I will buy the entire stamp set just for a stamp. I am a person like that. Like, I just can't help it. Like, I want the one stamp, right? So, all right, you guys, how are you doing? So on that one, it was a matter of getting your little cardstock mat, figuring out what you're doing with it, and then stamping your sentiment strip and adhering that to your card. So, all right, I see Tony's also done with 3. Now, for those of you who like to watch and see the layout before you put your card together, I'll have something on the next clue that you might take into consideration, or there's a way you can always sneak things in too. So without further ado, we're gonna go over to clue number 4. And let's see what we have for you with number 4. All right, stamp a sentiment and our focal images on the white vanilla mat that we have left. And then we're going to adhere that to the other coordinating cardstock 2 mat. And then this goes on the inside of the card. So I went with my white and Calypso Coral. And I originally thought in my head, I was going to stamp this flower here and the flower here. And I thought, no, let's go with something else from the set that matched. And so there's the Celebrate and the Cupcake. So that's why I grabbed out those 2 things. Maria Gilbertson's in my camp. She'll buy a stamp set just because of one stamp. I know, it's so hard to not control yourself and say, there's no rationalizing, well, why buy it for one just stamp set, like for just one stamp, right? No, that doesn't even cross my mind. The thought is, I want it, I'm gonna buy it. So I get it. So I'm gonna stamp the Celebrate. And then we're going to put the Cupcake right in the middle. Right about here. Very good, very good, very good. And what we can do is zhuzh it up a little bit. So how do you zhuzh it up, if you know that word? I am going to grab a Lemon Lolly. They call me Mellow Yellow, which is what Lemon Lolly is. And I'm going to grab a Coral Blend. And I'm going to see once if we can't color our little cup of cake in. I was going to get the Stella pen and glitterify it, but I think we're going to take the easy button and make some yellow frosting. I don't know if this is going to look tasty or not, but I'm going to do a little bit of yellow frosting. So blends are alcohol-based markers, and you want to use water-based ink when you color with them. And I thought to myself, well, I should try to use the dark one as well and see if we can add a little bit of shading. And usually I do the dark one first, but I didn't know if I was going to use it or not. but we're gonna shade a little bit. And then I'm gonna go back for a round 2 and darken it a little bit. And then for our cupcake liner, ooh, that's really dark. That is not even Calypso. It is. Whoa. Okay, that's super dark. That's more than what I want. So we're gonna pretend that I only did that little bit. And let's see here. Let's grab the, wow. Look at that tip, you guys. Let's go here. Look at that. I don't know if that's even gonna, oh, that'll work a little bit. That'll get some of it done. Now that is love. That marker tip has been loved. So let's go back to this side. Because even though that side is a little bit like loved a lot, this side still works pretty good. So we did the bulk of the middle area. And there, we colored in our cupcake. And I think that looks okay. It added a little bit of color on our inside. Whew, okay, it's a little lemon lolly cupcake. And I realize now that I need to replace that coral blend. And what we're gonna do is adhere. Wow, we're getting to the end. Got that one, and you know what we're gonna do is just put a little glue there. So this last clue is stamping something on your last white mat and then adhering both of these mats together and putting them on the inside of your card. So I wasn't certain how Lemon Lolly and Calypso Coral would really go together, but when Stampin' Up! Put some pattern paper with Lemon Lolly and Calypso Coral, I went with it. I did contemplate using Lost Lagoon, and I'll show you. This was the conundrum I had. Lost Lagoon was what I thought about using as the background, but then I pulled out lemon, and I feel like it was a little more cohesive using lemon. All right, so here's the inside. Matches nicely, right? You got the inside and the outside. That's what double matting does. Double matting, hi Kenzie, she loves lemon desserts. Yay, I do too. I have some lemon raspberry kringle in here actually. So Tony's done with 4, perfect. So when you double mat, it really ties the outside and the inside of the card together versus only having one layer. Now, some people don't like to do the double mat. It adds on to the weight of the card. Totally get it. You wouldn't have to double mat if you really don't want to. And that's what I've got though so far. And let's see here what our clue number 5 is going to bring us. So let's move over to clue numero 5, number 5. See what I wrote for it. Now, I threw this in here. I know it looks like the card is completely done, but if you want to add more to your card, you could take scraps of your coordinating cardstock, pattern paper, white vanilla, and decorate the front of your card as desired. Meaning, if you haven't put this together yet, or you have the ability to tuck things in, you could get, let's say you had flowers on your card. You have sprigs that you could put in. You could tuck some sprigs back here. You could have some stuff coming out. And depending on where you're at with gluing, like I use dimensionals here, so I could potentially take something and have it kind of come up here and tuck in. So you have the ability to add to this card by putting extra die cut pieces on it or fussy cutting focal images and adding them onto it. So you don't have to leave it at this state. You could add a little bit more to it. All right, that's what I'm getting at. So Maria said Lemon Lolly was a good choice. I'm good with Lemon Lolly too. It actually made it brighter. The Lost Lagoon made it darker and more drab to me, where the Lemon Lolly made it more cheerful and sunshiny. Okay, so this one is optional. Clue 5 is like, I need more on my card. What can I do to add more? Like here, you could add a little frog. Like hopping by to say hi. No, that does not match the card at all, but this is what I'm getting at. You could add things to your card to like little embellishments or I should say die cut images, not necessarily embellishments, because if you guys know me, you know what the last clue, number 6, is all about, which is embellish and Stella to your heart's content. So what that means is grab your embellishments, and I had these really pretty ones And I thought to myself, oh, do they go here or do they, I think I'm gonna put them right here. One here, and then the other one can go right there. And now I would normally tell you to use 3 embellishments because 3 is an odd number, and that's usually what a florist would say, or a floral arranger. But in this case, I like the 2 offset like this. And these are all a little bit bigger. So if I added, let's just say, this is what I'll do sometimes. I'll try to figure out, well, could I add another one on here without it looking out of place, right? And so you can kind of figure that out. There are, like for my card here, I have flowers. So maybe not using these embellishments, but if I had small little iridescent pearls, I could put some pearls in the middle of some of my flowers and make a wreath looking arrangement. But I think I'm just gonna let it be, because you have to remember sometimes less is best, and you don't have to keep adding stuff to your card just to add stuff to your card. You can just be happy with it where it's at and call it a day and end up with an easy peasy lemon squeezy layout. Haha, did you get it? Lemon squeezy? Because we use lemon lolly. So my niece is 10 in 2 days. I just remembered. Good job, Kenzie. Make sure you don't forget to wish her a happy birthday or send her a card, right? And what we mean by Stella is this is a Stella pen. And you can Stella designer series paper, no problem. I went Stella ink because it would make it bleed. So you can go around the designer paper. You could also go over the mat here, and it catches and adds a little bit of shimmer to your card mat that's back there. You could also do the border of the white. By Stella, it's sky's the limit with Stella. So, how was that? Was it easy or was it too easy? Were you good with it? Hopefully you guys are happy. The goal was for you to make a card, right? And what do you do next though? I'm looking for my share graphic here because apparently I didn't print it. So what do you do next? The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna share your card. You're gonna take a picture of it and go to Facebook. And in Facebook, you wanna go to Cards by Christine. And in here, you go to My Events. And under Events, you are no longer in Upcoming because the class is officially done at 7. Oh, it's happening right now, actually. Right here it is. April Mystery Card Making Event. And in the discussion, I've already scheduled it to post 18 minutes ago. We hope you had a great time solving the mystery with us. Show off your creations and be inspired by everybody else's cards. You have until next week, Tuesday night, to share. And basically, it's whenever we pull them. It'll be sometime after Tuesday. Anybody who shares their card will get their name in for a drawing. So what you would do is click on comment, and then you would go to, let's see here, I'm just going to grab something, grab your picture, and you just submit it, right? So if you need to take a picture, you could do it from here. Oh, hi guys, you can see me. It's backwards. Hang on, let's do this. So you take a picture of your card like that. Okay, hit done, and then hit the arrow over button, and that puts your card out there. And you can comment more if you want to put what stamp sets you used or what you like, whatever you want. If you want to share the inside of it, basically the goal is to get your comment in there with a picture of the card. And what's really cool about Mystery Card Night is that everybody's cards are going to look generally the same because they have the same layout, but they're going to all look different because for the most part, people will have different designer paper or pattern paper. They're going to have different ink colors. They're going to have different cardstock colors. They're going to have it look slightly different because of the different products that they used. So it was perfect. Good. Great layout. Thanks for sharing. Yay. So let me just show you guys, I said that I would share, now that we have mine done, I said that I would share Kathy Ballard's picture, or her card actually, not a picture, but I have Kathy Ballard's card. So if you guys watched my Happy Mail on Thursday night, you would have seen this card. And that was the card that Kathy Ballard sent me as a thank you, and she's going to be doing my Stampin' Fun in the Sun. And I saw this, I'm like, oh, that seems easy enough to do, where you can see it looks slightly different by changing up the ribbon. And then, if you recall from the beginning, this was Debbie Lindauer's card, and similar layout, but less paper. So this one featured 3 different designer series papers, where this one featured the one and just a little bit different. So 2 easier layouts for you guys so that you don't have to have the overly complicated, lots of die cutting, lots of layers. So Debbie's had lots of layers, but they were subtle enough that they were all so cohesive, it went together. But this is another way that you don't have to overcomplicate things. When you need a card, don't go by especially if you have stamping supplies. If you need a card, don't go to the store and don't be overwhelmed. Sit down in your craft room, pull out some coordinating stuff, grab this easy layout, and get a sentiment and something embossed on it, and it will turn out great. And then whoever you give it to will appreciate the fact that you made the card versus going to the store to buy it. So yay! So Deanne said, is it a great layout? Hi, Sherry Intridinger. What a fun card, she said. Good, good. Okay. How was mystery card night? Was it okay? I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And I hope that you will have no excuse to get your card done in time to share it with us. And don't forget to snap a picture of it before you give it away if you do give your card to somebody to spread some love and joy and cheer into somebody else's life. So I think that's it, you guys. I don't know much else. We had a lot of, if you missed the Let's Just Stamp class this afternoon, we did do a lot of talk, chitter chatter on the front end about the MS benefit that was this weekend. And we talked about the raffle, and we talked a lot about the Wounded Warrior Project benefit that's coming up in the fall. So if you missed any of Let's Just Stamp, try to go back and watch some of that, because I had a lot of announcements and updates, and we had Happy Mail, and we had some prizes that were won for cards. So we did do a lot in the Let's Just Stamp class, which featured the Be My Valentine. And so I'm not going to talk about those now. I'm going to let you guys go and have a great rest of your night. I will see you back here on Thursday. Thursday is the Perennial Lavender card class, and I have about 10 spots left for that class in case anybody would still like to get in on some awesome Purplelicious Perennial Lavender card kits. Oh, perfect. Debbie Gass is going to make 3 more. I love it. Good. Get inspired, make some cards, and have a good rest of your night. You guys, we'll see you back on Thursday. Lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs to everybody. Love you long time, and we'll see you later. Bye.